Welcome back to another video, guys. See the title for today. I'm going to be showing you how you can build up those biceps with calisthenics, body weight, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be going through a couple simple exercises that you can do in the comfort of your own home. Even if you don't have all the equipment that I have available, then obviously you can substitute it with, items around the house, or there is other alternatives. So let's get straight into the video, man, and let's build those arms up. Okay guys, so this is going to be a beginner exercise, but we're just going to start off by focusing on working on a body weight row. Now obviously a row does usually target the back, however we're going to be doing it with a supinated grip, which is going to target the biceps more. So whenever you have your palms facing towards you, your biceps immediately become more activated. So if you want to get into a setup like this, and again this is for beginners, you can just start working your arms like this, using your feet as stabilizers, but you're not driving with your feet. Your feet are literally there just to help stabilize your body, and your arms and your biceps are doing all the work. Now as you can see, my legs were bent in that position. Now obviously the straighter your legs, the more difficult the movement is going to become. Now if you don't have a setup like me where two parallel bars or a set of dip bars, you always can do a set of chairs on either side, put a broom or a wooden pole or anything in between them, and you can still perform this movement. It's not about what you have, but it's just about how you use it. So at the end of the day, guys, you should be able to do some rows, but we're going to develop off of these. So just so you guys are able to see the hand placement a little more closely, again, you want your palms facing towards you. You sit up like this, and you're really going to feel it in your bicep, especially if you've never done this exercise before. You're definitely going to feel it in your bicep. Now the other option you can do, if you do have dip bars or access to bars, parallel bars, is that you can set them up like this. And this is kind of closer resemble a hammer curl, but you can set the bars up like this, and you're still going to be able to get those reps in. It all depends on the equipment that you have available or the equipment that you make. Now I'm a bit more on the taller side, so I wasn't able to perform these on the dip bar, but if you just get a setup like this can be two chairs and a bar and a pole. So to take this to the next level now, you want to work on straightening your legs out. That's going to make the movement more difficult, but you're still just going to be working the biceps in this position. You really want to be bringing your chest to the bar, or as close as the bar as you possibly can. Remember, you don't need to rush this. It's not about how many reps you can do at one time. We want quality. So when we're focusing on the movement, we want to make sure that our body is nice and parallel to the ground. As you pull, want to make sure the biceps are engaged here. Lower yourself down with control. We don't want just flinging, no. Control the movement. Don't let the movement control you, and you're going to get the best out of it at the end of the day. Now there is a way that you can progress this. You can put a weight vest on, things of that nature, to make this movement more difficult, but I would say for beginners and intermediates, this is going to be a quality exercise that you can do to build up the biceps. So once you've mastered the rows and you've built up a good number on theirs, then you can move up onto the pull-ups. But again, palms facing towards you, supinated pull-ups, to really focus on engaging those biceps. We want the full range of motion, so you're going to start off in a dead hang. You can do your arms shoulder width apart, and we're just going to pull and try to get that chest to the bar to really work the biceps. Now if you can only get your chin over, that's fine as well. Chest is a little bit more advanced, so if you're only just coming there, that's good as well. But we want to make sure that we're getting that stretch down the bottom. We're coming back to almost that dead hang. You don't have to come to a complete dead hang like this if you don't want to. You can have it a bit more engaged, so your arms do have a slight bend in them, but at the end of the day, we want to make sure that the bicep is doing the majority of the work. Now, obviously, any pulling motion, the back is going to be involved to a certain degree, but we're still making sure that when we pull, we can feel it in the bicep. And remember, we're controlling the descent. We're not just coming back down, flinging back down crazy. We are controlling the descent. Now, like the other movement, we can always use a resistance band. So just like the previous video, we can use a resistance band to help us to get those first few reps, or to help us when we do start to fatigue, if you are a beginner to doing this. So what you're going to do is you can either loop it around your knee or your foot. I'm just going to do my knee today. You loop it over the bar, and this is literally going to assist you in getting those reps in. Again, good clean form. Depending on your fitness level will depend on how heavy you need to use a resistance band. So I would probably start with a reasonably heavy band, see how easy that is, and then get lighter and lighter and lighter till you don't need a band at all. So we do have some other options as well in terms of grip. So if you have a pull-up bar like mine, or the options, there are a lot of different grips on here. So there is a neutral, there's a narrow, and obviously the regular pull-up bar grip. So if you still want to target those biceps and the brachialis on the side of the arms, you can go into a hammer grip or a neutral grip, depending on, you know, what you like to call it. And this is going to work the sides of the arms as well. So if you can imagine, when you're doing a hammer curl, it targets the sides of the arms. So doing that pulling movement is going to target the sides of the arms as well. So this is just to show you different grip variations. As I said, we got the hammer out here, we got the neutral, and then we got the close grip there as well. So using those is going to target the bicep head in different ways. Now, if you don't have a resistance band, still struggling to get the pull-up reps in, what you can do is some eccentrics instead. So this is definitely great for beginners, or when you do fatigue, what you're going to do is find something to step on. You're going to bring yourself over the bar, like you pulled yourself up, and then you can just bring yourself down slowly for that eccentric work, rinse and repeat. So you start all over again, come here slowly and repeat. Now, another thing that you can do as well is isometrics. Now, let's be honest, these are not going to work the biceps in the same way that just doing pull-ups are, but it's an option if you really want to get a good burnout at the end, or you want to work on a certain part of the movement and strengthen it. So you can just literally come into some isometrics here, or even here, or up here, or even further down. It all depends on where you're weak in that movement. You can build some muscular endurance with some isometrics. So for example, let's say this part here was my weakest part of the movement. I could literally just hold the iso there, let the biceps really do some work, then drop off. But those are some different ways that you can work the biceps, get them nice and strong, get some good arms, all that good stuff. Any pull-up motion is really actually going to work your biceps, but again, that hand facing towards you, hand placement is really going to make sure that the biceps are doing a lot of work. Now, if you so happen just to own a pair of gymnastic rings or have access to gymnastic rings, it is going to allow you to get some more bicep work in. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a curl with the rings. So literally you can just curl up like that with the rings, allowing you to continue to work the bicep. Now obviously, the more lower you come, the harder the movement. So if you stay upright, more upright, it's going to be easier for you to pull because of the line of motion. Now if we make these a little bit more shorter, it's going to allow us to come into a lower range of motion, and it's going to make the exercise more difficult. So when using the rings, it does give you that freer range of movement throughout your wrists and your body, so you can again get that twist on the rings when you're coming up, which will activate the bicep more, just like that. And then when you come back down, you can come into this position here, or you can just keep them the same position on the way up or the way down. But again, depending on how long you have the gymnastic rings will depend on how hard the exercise is. So this is going to be the most advanced movement in regards to all the exercises that we've done today, and it's the pelican curl. Some of you may have seen this, some of you may have not seen this, but it is a movement that is really going to test the limits of your biceps. So what you're going to do is you can start here, or you can start down here, and you're literally going to pull yourself up with the rings, just like so. It's really going to put your biceps in that lengthened range of motion, and then when you're coming back up, you really have to fight in order to bring your body weight back up. Now obviously controlling the movement when you're coming down is vital, and obviously when you're coming up, you're making sure that you're only using just your biceps for the movement to be effective. Now as I said with the other ones, the longer you make the rings, the harder this movement is going to be. So essentially, if you start somewhere like here, the movement is going to be quite difficult, but you see you're getting that squeeze at the top, and then you're just making sure that you control the descent. Now depending on your fitness or skill level will depend on how far you can come down, but again, I wouldn't recommend beginners doing this exercise off rip. It is a little bit more advanced and does require a decent amount of strength. Now if you can do this 10 reps easy, you can always throw on a weight vest and get to work. Now with all the other exercises as well, you can throw on a weight vest and still do the work. And so again, just to show you the versatility of the rings, if we get a bench or a chair, anything that you have at your disposal, you can again perform. I probably have to make these a bit higher, to be honest. I forget how tall I am sometimes. Let's see if that's a good height. What you're gonna do is place your feet on the bench, and again you can just perform. Let me move this bench a little closer, it's a little bit far away. You can perform the curls or the rows, whatever you want to call them, but just make sure the bicep is doing a decent amount of work. Now that's another option for you to get those big arms, and that, my friends, is how you are going to build some serious big biceps with bodyweight calisthenics, whatever you want to call it. Easy exercises to perform. If you don't have the equipment, as I said, you can substitute with other things. So if you don't have gymnastic rings, you can always use some rope or some sort of suspension cable. If you don't have a bench, you can always use a chair, sofa, anything like that. But at the end of the day, just make sure that you get the work done, make sure the physique is on point, all that good stuff. But I hope you enjoyed watching. Make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out. Peace.